Do you ever look in the mirror and feel like time has stolen something from you? The reflection staring back is not the same one you remember. The skin is softer, the eyes a little more tired, the body slower to respond. Meanwhile, the world races forward, new faces, new voices, new trends. Friends grow distant, children become busy, and you wonder, am I being left behind? This thought cuts deeper than wrinkles or gray hair. It whispers in the silence of the night. You are no longer needed. You are no longer seen. And that ache, it is heavier than any number of birthdays. But here's the truth Buddhism offers. The suffering does not come from aging itself. The pain is born from resistance, our desperate grasp to freeze what must flow. The Buddha taught, impermanence is not a curse. It is the key to freedom. So what if aging is not an enemy to fight, but a teacher to embrace? What if every wrinkle is a story, every goodbye a lesson, every change a doorway into wisdom? In this journey, I will share 5 Buddhist lessons that can heal your heart when you feel abandoned by time. Lessons that will turn aging from a loss into a liberation, from fear into peace. Stay with me, because by the end, you may see that time is not leaving you behind. It is carrying you somewhere deeper. Lesson 1. You will be forgotten, and that's okay. The hardest truth to swallow: the world will forget you faster than you think. You worked hard, you built, you gave, you loved. Yet one day the career you sacrificed for will be passed to another. The home you cherished will belong to strangers. The stories you told will fade in the minds of even those closest to you. And perhaps that thought makes your chest tighten, because deep down you long to be remembered. But here's the sting. No matter how tightly you cling, time loosens every hand. Children grow busy with their own lives. Friends find new rhythms. One day the world moves on without you. And in those quiet moments you may whisper, was my life meaningless if no one remembers? But Buddhism answers with a gentle smile, no self. The Buddha taught that clinging to permanence is the seed of suffering. You are not a fixed name carved in stone. You are like a wave in the ocean, rising, falling, disappearing, yet always part of the great current of life. A wave may vanish, but the ocean never loses it. There is a Zen story of an old monk, famous for his wisdom. A young disciple asked, "Master, does it not sadden you that when you die, people may forget your name?" The monk pointed to a river. "Where is the water from yesterday?" The student hesitated. The monk continued, "It has flowed on, and yet the river remains. Your legacy is not your name. It is the current of your kindness. It is the ripple of your actions. Like a candle that lights 1,000 others without losing its own flame, the goodness you share today lives on, even if your name is never remembered. You think people must remember you. In truth, what endures is how you made them feel. Think of it. Do you remember every teacher who shaped you? Every stranger who once showed you kindness? Likely not. Yet their influence lives in you, woven into the person you have become. In the same way, your love will shape hearts long after your name is forgotten. So why cling to being remembered when the river of life carries something far greater? The warmth of your compassion, the wisdom in your words, the love that someone else will carry forward, even if they never speak your name again. Legacy is not memory, it is presence. When you release the obsession with being remembered, you discover something extraordinary: peace. You no longer measure your worth by history books or family altars. You measure it by how fully you live right now. The Buddha said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. When you offer kindness today, it matters now. When you love fully today, it changes the world now. The question is not, will they remember me? But did I live today with love? Aging becomes unbearable when you chase after permanence. But aging becomes beautiful when you realize you are not meant to be remembered forever. You are meant to live fully now, to give fully now, to love fully now. That is freedom. So when fear whispers that time will erase your name, answer with the monk's wisdom. Yes, my water will flow on, but the river remains. You cannot control whether they remember, but you can choose whether you live. So live. Be kind. Be present. Be the river, not the drop. And when your time comes, you will go with peace, knowing you have nourished life in ways that will never truly fade. Lesson 2. Your body will change. Befriend it instead of fighting. One day, the body you trusted will turn against you, and that betrayal cuts deeper than words. Once you could climb stairs without thinking. Now your knees argue with every step. Once you carried heavy bags with ease. Now your shoulders ache at the simplest task. The mirror reflects someone unfamiliar, lines on your face, tremors in your hands, skin that no longer hides the passing of time. And in those moments, a whisper creeps in. Why is my body abandoning me? Why does it no longer obey me? But here's the hidden truth. Your body is not betraying you. It's completing its duty. The Buddha taught impermanence, anicca. Just as a tree sheds its leaves in autumn, your body sheds its strength with age. The problem is not the change itself. It is your refusal to accept the change. Pain is not only in the joints, it is in the clinging heart. There is an old Buddhist parable of a monk who once carried water buckets with ease. As he aged, his arms trembled. One evening, in frustration, he cried, "Master, why does my body fail me? It once obeyed my every command." The teacher handed him a cracked clay pot. "This pot once held water perfectly. Now it leaks. Is it useless?" The monk shook his head. "No, it still holds some water." The teacher smiled. "And does not the leaking water nourish the earth?" You are not useless when you weaken. You are simply serving in new ways. Your body is not your enemy. It is your oldest companion. It has carried you through every season of life, through childhood laughter, youthful passion, and adult responsibilities. It has healed after sickness, endured stress, and absorbed every burden you placed on it. Why now, at its most fragile, do you turn against it with resentment? The body is not a failing machine. It is a faithful friend asking for gentleness. Instead of fighting it, thank it. Instead of cursing its slowness, care for it. Instead of demanding more, listen when it asks for rest. The Buddha taught compassion for all beings. Shouldn't that include your own body? Think of the elders who inspire you, not because they look young, but because they radiate wisdom, calm, and dignity. Their hands may shake, but they still reach out in kindness. Their backs may bend, but their hearts remain upright. They are living proof. A frail body does not mean a frail spirit. Age may wrinkle the skin, but it need not wrinkle the soul. So how do you befriend your body instead of fighting it? Begin with gratitude. Each wrinkle is a line drawn by survival. Each scar is a story of healing. Each ache is proof you have lived long enough to feel it. Buddhist practice invites us to observe the body without judgment. Sit in stillness. Notice the breath, how it rises, how it falls. Notice the sensations, ache in the knees, flutter in the chest, warmth in the belly. Whisper to yourself, "This is my body. It has served me faithfully. I will care for it." Peace begins not when the pain stops, but when the war with your body ends. Practical steps. Move gently. Walk, stretch, breathe. Feed the body with care, not punishment. Rest when needed. And most of all, do not let age silence your joy. You may not run as fast, but you can still walk. You may not lift as much, but you can still carry wisdom, laughter, and love. Because here's the deeper Buddhist truth. You are not your body, it is your vessel, not your essence. The body bends, but the spirit does not. The body weakens, but awareness only deepens. The Buddha compared the body to a borrowed house, temporary, fragile, yet precious while you live in it. Treat the body as a temple you care for, not a prison you resent. So when your knees ache, bow to them. They've carried you thousands of miles. When your back protests, smile. It has held you upright through every storm. When your hands tremble, bless them. They've built, touched, and loved more than most will ever know. And when the final day comes, let your body rest with gratitude, not regret. For it was never betraying you. It was only reminding you that you are more than flesh, more than bones, more than time itself. Your body will change, but your spirit can remain unshaken. Lesson 3. People will leave, love without clinging. Every friendship is like a drop in the river, flowing, merging, separating. One of the sharpest pains of aging is not the body's weakness, but the empty chairs around your table. The friend who once called every week now answers less. The sibling who knew your secrets drifts into silence. Even children, once clinging to your hand, walk away into their own worlds. And in those lonely moments you whisper, "Why do they leave me behind?" The truth is heartbreaking. No one belongs to you, not even the ones you love most. Buddhism teaches impermanence. Everything changes, including relationships. People arrive in your life when the season is right. They stay while their role is needed. And then, without warning, they move on. This is not cruelty. It is nature. The river flows forward. Drops merge for a while, then separate. There is a Zen story of a young monk who asked, "Master, why do those we love leave us?" The teacher led him to a river. "Watch," he said. The monk saw droplets of water dance together for a moment, then drift apart. So it is with people. Some travel beside you briefly, others for years. None can stay forever. The sadness comes not from their leaving, but from your refusal to accept it. The pain is not their departure. It is your clinging. We suffer because we confuse love with possession. We want people to stay the same, to remain beside us as proof of our worth. But love is not ownership. Love is presence, not permanence. When you try to hold water in your fist, it slips away. When you cup it gently in your palm, it rests there. To love fully, you must loosen your grip. Think of those who have left your life. Yes, and the absence hurts. But does their leaving erase the laughter you once shared? Does silence erase the lessons they gave you? No. Their presence shaped you. Their absence teaches you. Both are sacred. So what do we do with this truth? We stop chasing what has drifted. We turn toward what remains. The friend who still checks in, the neighbor who smiles as you pass, the new soul waiting to enter your circle if you keep your heart open. Stop mourning every drop that left the river. Cherish the current that still flows. Here is a practice. Tonight, write down 3 names. One of someone who has gone. One of someone who remains. One of someone new people you can welcome. Whisper gratitude to each. Thank you for shaping me. Thank you for staying. Welcome to my journey. This simple act turns loss into presence, emptiness into connection. Gratitude closes the door of grief and opens the window of love. And remember this, even if someone is gone from your life, love does not vanish. It lives inside you. The love you gave remains a part of you. The love they gave echoes in your kindness to others. The river flows on, carrying every drop that once passed. No goodbye can erase love. It only changes its form. So, when you feel the ache of being left behind, place your hand on your heart. Say softly, "They came when I needed them. They left when it was time. But love remains." Because the secret is this: you cannot keep everyone, but you can love everyone without chains. That is freedom. That is grace. People leave, but love, when freed from clinging, never does. Lesson 4. You no longer look young, but beauty has transformed. The mirror doesn't lie, but it also doesn't tell the whole truth. There comes a day when you glance into the mirror and pause. The face staring back is not the one you remember. The skin is softer, the hair thinner, the lines deeper. Society screams that this is a loss, that beauty has slipped away. And your heart aches as if time itself has betrayed you. But what if those lines are not flaws, but sacred scripts of your journey? Every wrinkle is a story, every strand of silver a crown. The Buddha taught that clinging is the root of suffering, and nothing binds us tighter than clinging to youth. We ache because we compare today's reflection with yesterday's, as if time owes us a debt. But impermanence is not theft, it is transformation. Youth's beauty is like a blossom, radiant, fragile, fleeting. Age's beauty is like the pine tree, rooted, dignified, eternal. There's a Zen parable of an elderly woman who wept, saying, "Master, my beauty is gone." The teacher led her to the garden, a cherry blossom in spring, delicate and dazzling. Beside it, a twisted pine, weathered yet unyielding. "Which is more beautiful?" he asked. She hesitated. The pine did not shine, yet it carried a quiet power. The master whispered, "That is you." Youth dazzles, age glows. The world worships blossoms, but the pine endures all seasons. Why do we fear the face that time carves? Because we have been taught that beauty is skin deep. Buddhism reveals otherwise. Beauty is presence, kindness, resilience. The sparkle in your eyes when you comfort a friend. The patience in your voice when you guide a child. The calm in your heart after surviving storms. That beauty cannot fade, it only deepens. True beauty is not behind you, it's inside you right now. Think of elders you admire. Do you remember them because their faces were wrinkle-free, or because they radiated wisdom, dignity, and compassion? A grandparent's gentle touch, a teacher's calm advice, a stranger's kindness that still warms your soul. That is beauty. That is the legacy of age. So when you see silver hair, don't mourn. Boo! That silver is not a loss. It is a crown earned from decades of living, loving, and enduring. Kings wear gold. The wise wear silver. Time did not steal your beauty, it transformed it. Here's a practice. Next time you face the mirror, pause. Instead of looking for what is missing, ask, what does this face carry? Gratitude, stories, endurance? Then bow softly. Because that face is not a stranger, it is the temple of your soul. And remember, society may chase youth, but youth is only borrowed. Wisdom is owned. Youth is rented. Wisdom is yours forever. When you accept that you no longer look young, you don't shrink, you expand. You stop fearing the mirror and start honoring it. You stop clinging to what fades and embrace what endures. And that shift, that quiet, radical acceptance, is freedom. Lesson 5. You will lose loved ones, but love never dies. Death ends a life, not a bond. There is a silence heavier than any storm, the silence that follows when someone you love is gone. One day you hear their laughter, the next only an empty chair. Their favorite cup sits untouched. Their voice no longer calls your name. And your chest feels hollow, as if a piece of your own body has been ripped away. The cruelest part of love is that it always carries the risk of loss. The Buddha did not deny this pain. He looked at it directly. When Kisa Gotami lost her young son, she carried his lifeless body from house to house, begging for medicine to bring him back. Finally, she came to the Buddha, who told her, "Bring me a mustard seed from a home untouched by death." She searched every house, but each family had known loss, a parent, a child, a friend. She returned empty-handed, yet her heart awakened. She was not alone. Grief was not her curse. It was part of being human. Grief is the price we pay for love, but love itself never dies. Every loss reminds us of impermanence. Bodies vanish, voices fade, names are forgotten. But what remains? The warmth they once gave, the lessons they left behind, the love they planted in us, which no death can erase. Think of your own losses, a parent who guided you, a friend whose laughter still rings in your memory, a partner whose touch lingers in your soul. They may be gone, but do you not still carry them in your habits, your choices, your heart? The body leaves, but the bond becomes an invisible thread. The Buddha taught that clinging to what has passed brings endless suffering. We cry not only because they are gone, but because we refuse to let the story change form. But love does not need a body to survive. Love becomes presence in memory, guidance in silence, and compassion in the way we treat others. So how do we live with grief without being destroyed by it? By transforming pain into gratitude. Practice. Carry love forward. Speak their name. Tell their stories. When you remember them, they live again in your words. Carry their kindness. If they once comforted you, comfort someone else in their spirit. Turn grief into gratitude. Instead of asking, "Why did I lose them?" whisper, "How lucky I was to have loved them at all." The heart heals not by forgetting, but by transforming grief into love that still serves the world. Yes, tears will still fall. That is natural. Buddhism does not ask you to suppress sorrow. It asks you to see deeper. Beneath sorrow flows love. And love is indestructible. Imagine this. Every act of kindness you show becomes their voice speaking through you. Every time you forgive, their wisdom echoes. Every time you love again, their spirit continues its journey in you. They are not only behind you, they walk with you, reshaped into who you are becoming. So when grief presses heavily on your chest, place your hand over your heart and whisper, "You are gone, yet you remain, not in flesh, but in the love I carry forward." Because the truth is simple yet profound. You will lose loved ones, but love itself cannot be lost. It only changes form, like water that evaporates, rises, and returns as rain. Death takes presence. Love turns it into eternity. Time is not leaving you behind. It is carrying you deeper. We began with the ache of being forgotten, and yet we learned. Your legacy is not your name, but the ripples of kindness you leave. We faced the betrayal of the body, and yet we saw. It is not failure, but a faithful friend asking for gentleness. We touched the heartbreak of people leaving, and yet we discovered love was never ownership, only presence, only flow. We looked at the mirror with fear, and yet we realized wrinkles are not cracks, but calligraphy of wisdom, silver crowns that shine brighter than gold. We walked through the valley of loss, and yet we found death ends a life, not a bond. Love never dies. It simply transforms into memory, presence, and action. Aging is not punishment, it is privilege. Every breath, every wrinkle, every goodbye is a gift of depth. So, when you feel left behind by time, remember, you are not being abandoned. You are being carried into wisdom, into compassion, into freedom. Your task is not to cling, but to walk with open hands, open heart, open eyes. If even one truth touched you today, let me know in the comments. Which lesson spoke to your heart most deeply? Subscribe for more Buddhist wisdom and share this video with someone who may be carrying silent pain. Time is your greatest teacher. Let it guide you, not with fear, but with grace.